everyone, it's Dr. Karen Leggett, and I'm here to tell you how to get the most out of young hormones. So let's get started. The first thing I want to introduce you to is the airless pump system. So what that means is that the container has no air in it. So the first time that you pump the bottle, you use it, you're going to need to pump it 2 or 3 times to get the creams up in and out of the system. Now, once you do that one time, you don't need to worry about doing it again. So 2 to 3 pumps and your first dose will be delivered. Now, the second thing that I want to make sure that you remember is to place the container on a hard surface before you pump it. And that's because if you turn it this way and try to pump it out like this, you're not going to get your full amount that comes out with each pump. Okay, number 3. You always want to use a glove. So when you apply your hormones, you don't want to get them on your hands because you got to wash it off. And you don't want to have to wash off. You want to get use of all of it. And also, you have a higher rate of letting it touch other things. So you don't want to do that. Try to remember to use gloves. Okay, so how about application in terms of how frequently should you use it? Well, make sure that you go to the charts. We have charts that show you where you fall, meaning should you use it once a day or twice a day? For most of us, it's going to be twice a day. Now, I prefer twice a day because you have a more even dosing all day long inside your body. We know that after about 12 to 14 hours, then the amount that the cream is in our bloodstream is less, is going down a little bit, and so therefore we want to use it twice a day if you fall in the twice a day dosing range. Okay, and what about times of the month? Well, again, we have that on charts. If you are still having a cycle period and they're regular periods, then you're going to be cycled. You're going to want to know where you lie, so make sure you look at those charts. It could be days 14 through 28 of your cycle, or even 7 through 28 of your cycle. If you're like me and you're no longer cycling, or if you have just really crazy irregular cycles, then you're going to use it 6 days per week and skip 1 day. Okay, and don't worry, I have this wonderful guide for you that is downloadable, and that's what I'm looking at right now to make sure I don't forget anything. Okay, what about timing associated with intimacy? All right, well, what you want to make sure is that you snuggle 2 hours after you've applied your hormones, or you snuggle before you put your hormones on, your young hormones, okay? So for instance, if you're a morning snuggler, do your snuggling, then get up, do your morning routine and get your young hormones applied. If you're a nighttime snuggler, do your snuggling and then get up and put your young hormones on. Super easy. Okay. Also remember, there is a word called transference, and that's part of the snuggling routine. Transference is when you apply something on your skin. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a steroid cream or a Benadryl cream or anything. You want to keep it away from pets and children and your partner. So that's why I'm saying the 2 hours is going to keep you safe. But you have to also remember that there's other ways as well. So I used to have an old English sheepdog, and she used to lay between my legs, and I would brush her for hours on end. And so you want to think about those kinds of things, because when you pick up your pets, you can transfer it to them as well. Now, if you apply it in the areas that I'm going to tell you, you won't run into that problem. A lot of people use their forearms. That's not a good place because we are holding a lot of things on our forearm. And then on top of that, it's not a very fatty area. We want to use a fatty area. And so really, I recommend the legs, the upper legs, it could be front, middle, back, the buttocks, and actually under here where we have a little more fat usually. I've got little skinny arms, but a little under here is where we want to use our young hormones. Okay, there's another thing that I want to tell you that you probably won't think of, and that is the toilet seat. So if you share a toilet seat with others, I would recommend taking a little baby wipe and wiping it off if you're using your young hormones on the back of your legs. That's what I do for my hubby. So I don't want any transference. So after that, after I use the toilet, I wipe down the seat. We don't share towels. I would not recommend sharing towels either, because you just never know. I mean, you just never know. It's not likely, but I'm giving you all the little hints and stuff that I do. The other thing that you want to remember about the location and where you apply it, so under the arms, on the legs, anywhere on the buttocks, you want to rotate those areas. So maybe one day or 1 to 3 days you use one leg, and another one you use it for another 1 to 3 days, you use another leg, and then in 1 to 3 days arm, and then buttocks. I mean, you've got lots of areas to put this cream, because this cream absorbs like that and it leaves no residue. You are going to be amazed and love it. Okay, now how about the breasts? Do we apply it on the breasts? Because the breasts, some of us, not me, but some of us can have nice fatty breasts. So is that a good place? No, we don't want to apply it to our breasts. We don't want to apply anything really like that to our breasts. Now, the main reason is that yes, it's a fatty area, but we don't have any research to do it there. And here's what we know. The breasts are full of receptor sites, and you're going to learn all about that in another video. But receptor sites, estrogen and progesterone receptor sites. Well, it's all going to stay there. We want the whole body. We want it to go systemically. We have the need for our young hormones almost everywhere, from the tip of our head to the tip of our toe. We have receptor sites. So we don't want them concentrating in one area that happens to have tons of receptor sites for our hormones. Okay, well, what about the belly? Some people say, well, I got a good belly for that. I would not recommend the belly, your stomach, only because of this. Now, if this doesn't happen to you, have at it. Use it on your belly. It's fine. But the reason I don't exactly recommend it is because I've had quite a number. I would say maybe 10% of women come and tell me, you know what, I feel like it makes me bloated. And I say, well, where are you applying it? And it's like they'll say, well, it's usually because they're applying it on their belly. Oh, no, don't do that. I've experienced that before. Use it on your legs, and I go over that with them again. So I don't highly recommend that or think that's the greatest place, only because I have come across that weird thing that we don't really understand. Okay. All right, so why don't I show you how to do it? So we want it to be on a flat surface, and since I don't have a flat surface, really, I'm just going to do it on my hand. So I'm going to hold it, as flat as I can. Oh my God. It should be on a flat, hard surface. And it's a squeeze, and a squeeze out. It's a tiny little bit, and just a little application. It's very, very fast. And as you see, I've got skinny little arms. So you don't need to apply it. It goes in so fast, and it's so smooth that you don't actually need to put it on a number of different places like many other creams. It is already absorbed. It is done, okay? All right, that's how you do it. It's super easy. All right. Oh, next number. More is not better. So if you are kind of one of those people who say, oh, I feel great, I feel wonderful, this is working really, really well. Well, that doesn't mean you'll feel even better if you use more. In fact, that's a huge mistake that many people actually make. Now, the reason for that is that when you start feeling better and you use more, and you really shouldn't, you will overshoot, and that causes symptoms that are just as bad as when you undershoot. Okay, so we want to make sure that we use the right amount that I have guided you to use on the charts based on whether you test or not. Okay, so that's it. And so any questions or anything more, you just give us a holler and we'll answer them for you. You like this video, you think it's a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.